I usually don't cover mouse pads on my channel because they're honestly kind of boring to cover. But every once in a while, there's a few mouse pads that really catch my attention. And I'm going to show you 3 of those mouse pads that really caught my attention here. And the first mouse pad is kind of an underdog that I really haven't seen much coverage at all. It's actually by High Ground, which you would kind of expect more or less a cosmetic type of mouse pad from. But this one's actually really nice. You got that pour and base down there. It's kind of that hybrid type of surface, but it's not rough on the skin at all. Again, you can put this right on your desk. You don't get any of that irritation. You feel like the stitching is even across it all the way around. Really cool pattern, but I believe this is the only colorway and pattern you can get into Performance. Don't get confused because on their site you can get the regular black ice, but it's not the Performance one. It's a little bit cheaper, but again, it's got the regular backing, and I don't think it has the same stitching and stuff. So make sure you go Performance if that's what you're looking for. And just take a look at this stitching. Hopefully you can see that in the camera all the way around. I mean, it is incredibly tight stitching going all the way around this. And I've been using the heck out of this pad. No fraying, no tears or anything, even underneath. Now, as far as the thickness of this pad, you can see it's pretty much like 3 millimeters. So it's not thick by any means. And I think that's one thing that plays into it. It's not mushy. You still got that soft feel to it. But whenever it's on your desk, it's not really, again, that super soft mushy where your mouse is going to sink into it right there. If you see the density, it is still kind of soft, but again, not mushy. Now what you're looking at right here for a second is my ambient room sound level, the decibels. And I want to give you a sound test of this mouse pad. I'm using a Razer Death Adder V3 Pro here. And again, talking about this being a hybrid pad, you'd think it'd being a whole lot rougher, but as I stated, that stitching is very smooth up and down. Again, it feels very nice on the skin. And let me give you a quick listen here. So as you see, it's not incredibly loud like you would experience on many other hybrid pads, and that goes right in line with the skin. It just feels very smooth for a hybrid pad. Now, as far as the performance of this pad, of course, this is very subjective. Do you play at a higher or lower DPI? What kind of games are you playing? I'm playing Destiny 2 and a little bit of Helldivers there. So nothing competitive FPS, but I still like that control. And that's what you got with this. You got that nice buttery, smooth glide, but also control. It wasn't fast by any means, but also wasn't slow. It's pretty much that right in the middle comfort point right there. Again, your mouse doesn't sink into it because it's not super thick, but you also have that hybrid glide with really nice control. Again, I've used control pads, hybrid pads and stuff, and I could never find a sweet spot, but this being right in between of all that, it really hit the nail on the head. Now, the Black Ice Performance from High Ground comes in at $45, and as I stated before, make sure you don't mistake it with the regular Black Ice, which I think is 25 bucks or maybe 30 bucks, something like that. You gotta go with the Performance one to get this here, and it really shocks me, again, with the price and performance and quality of this mouse pad. Why isn't it covered much out there? You know, like so many other mouse pads are getting covered and hyped up, but why isn't this one? It is such a good mouse pad. It's definitely an underdog that I highly recommend you checking out. Now, the next pad we're going to take a look at is the Wallhack SP. Probably hard to see because I got my white desk and then a white mouse pad here, but this is a glass pad, again from Wallhack, aka previously being SkyPad. I believe they just changed their name, not sure why. But talking about this pad, I've used many glass pads and many SkyPad pads. And the coolest thing, well, there's a lot of cool things about this, but I want to talk about something that I actually mentioned a few years ago when I covered some SkyPads. That's being the bottom of this mouse pad. SkyPad used to put a couple feet up here and then down there, and it just wouldn't feel balanced. It raised up a little bit, and it didn't feel good on the arm. But as you see all down here on the bottom, the entire bit is silicone. I believe this is the first glass mouse pad that I've seen like this, and it is just fantastic because, again, it's balanced, it doesn't move around, and it's just that natural surface. So flipping it back over, again, that is a great thing about this pad. Again, it's tough to move on my desk here because it's so sticky. But again, as far as the surface, glass mouse pads, we're probably used to them being very rough. And you can just hear me sliding my hand across this. This thing is butter smooth. Like seriously, let's go ahead and get that Death Adder and glide it across. I mean, it just glides. It really does. Now it is faster. Again, it feels like you're cutting through butter or ice skating or something, it just goes right across it. And that great thing about that rubber edge down there, so if you're like me and you're sitting on your desk right here, it just flows. Again, it's not higher up here or higher over there and sticking off your desk. It pretty much feels like an extension of your desk. You don't get any pain or grooves within your wrist if you rest your wrist on your desk. I'm not sure if you all can see that in the camera, but we're pretty much right at 4 millimeters thickness here with that rubber base and then the glass. Again, it's not ridiculously thick by any means. Again, you're looking at my ambient room sound level, and I'm going to take that Razer Death Adder V3 Pro. We're going to glide it across here and get that sound test. So as far as the sound of this mouse pad, yeah, you do hear it because it's a glass pad, but it's not really grainy and that texture feeling like sand that many other glass pads have had. It is super smooth, and again, as far as the sound, it's not that annoying grindy sound. It's just, again, that butter smooth sound going across it. Very nice for a glass pad. Now, as far as the performance of this pad, going right in line, again, with the texture, the smooth, the buttery glass feeling of it, it is a little faster, but not ridiculously fast. As far as stopping power, it glides to its stop. It does not stop on a dime on a T like a control pad or anything, but again, it is incredibly smooth and just fun to use. I really liked this one when I was playing Destiny because tracking doesn't matter too much in that game, right? And it's just very comfortable. You don't feel any strain, no resistance or anything. You got to get used to the control because, again, you got to be able to stop it yourself. It's not going to come to a stop. If you just slightly move, it is going to move with you. But again, as far as gaming with it, it was just fun because it was so smooth. I'm usually not a big fan of glass mouse pads because, again, they are a little bit quicker. And yes, this one sits in that class as well. It's a little bit quicker. If I was playing more competitive FPS, I wouldn't use this. But again, me playing casual, PvE type of games, Destiny or say Helldivers 2, I had a good time with this. It was really fun. Now, of course, with sky pads and stuff, we all know they're not cheap, or glass pads in general, they're not cheap. And this one comes in at $120, but it might be one of the better glass pads I have used out there. I want to continue using this one here. Really shocking because, again, I'm not a glass pad fan. And well, that brings us right to our last pad, which is also a glass pad. And don't be sad because this one's really not that bad. Come on, you gotta subscribe and hit that bell for that rhyme there. And this pad is from TJ Exclusives, being their Sarah pad. A lot of you have probably heard about this one before, and again, it's tough to see because we got my white desk and then the white pad here. But this is also a glass pad, but a different glass pad than I've ever used before because this one is ceramic coated. And I want to share something with you before we dive deeper in this pad because this is super cool and this kind of stuff just puts a smile on my face, and I love supporting and sharing. This guy actually runs his business self stateside over here, I believe Wisconsin. And he left his parents' company that worked with ceramics and stuff with NASA and Lockheed Martin, he said. But he left the company and started this by himself and hand makes them, him and his team and everything. And he oversees them for his passion, right? He started this with his passion of game and left his family's company and everything. And that is super cool. Just hearing that entrepreneurship story and, again, him putting his passion into it. Gosh, you can't do much but smile and high-five him for that, and you want to support him, right? It's super cool seeing that kind of passion in the gaming space, that entrepreneurship, just stepping out and doing what you love. But anyways, back to the pad here. This is, again, a glass pad, and talking about having that ceramic coating, I'm going to jump right to the gun here. This is the most control I've ever experienced on a glass pad, like to a T. Like, just look at it right there. It's pretty much going like a cloth pad. It'll go like that, bam, and come to a stop. It doesn't glide to that stop, pretty much goes. And whenever you're gaming with it, it feels like a cloth pad as far as that control. It is so shocking because when I took it out, I'm like, oh boy, another glass pad. Here we go with some speed and stuff I can't control. But when I used it, I was like, Okay, this is weird. Is there a code? Is there something I got to peel off this or something, you know? But holy smokes, the control is amazing. Now, when we take this and flip it over, I'm going to show you down here. They kind of do like the old SkyPad type of deal with the feet. Now, these are a little bit thinner than what SkyPad used to use, and they're on the inside here. So, not my favorite by any means. Let me flip it back over, and I'm going to show you why. Because whenever I press it over here in the corner, I feel a slight dip. Now, of course, when you're gaming, you're usually going to be right in the middle, but again, now seeing that from that wall hack one with that Foley on the bottom, that is something I love, and I hope TJ Exclusives kind of takes guide from that and does that as well, because that needs to be implemented on all glass mouse pads. Just something I really like. So again, it's just that consistent flex across the entire pad. Now you're also seeing right down here, they have my logo on it, and they can do that for anybody. It's not just something did for me. They'll type it right down there, your name or whatever. Is this something I would recommend? You kind of feel it sticking out of it, and it's not true, like really crispy text, as you can see right there. It's super cool that it's on there, you know, but again, you feel it sticking out there. So if you're one to use the entire surface of your mouse pad all the way to the corner, I'd say go without the logo, because even with my mouse going over it, you can feel it. It's like speed bumps right there. So again, if you use your entire surface corner to corner, do not get the logo. Now the thickness of this pad again is pretty much right at that 4 millimeters right there. That is not including the feet, as my tool can't reach into there, but add, I guess, just a millimeter, and then you can see that thickness. I just really wish they would put that silicone all on the bottom on every single glass mouse pad. Now let's go and get that sound test. Again, my ambient room sound level over there. And as you've been hearing me just messing around with this pad, it is a little bit louder. You got that ceramic coating on the top there. So you kind of got like that little grainy bit there. You talk ceramic, you might be familiar with your pots and pans, your nonstick pots and pans, right? Same kind of concept here. You feel that slight bit of texture on it, but let's get that sound test. So yes, it is a little bit louder, definitely coming off the tail end of that wall hack mouse pad. This is kind of like that standard sound level of many other glass mouse pads we're used to, with that little bit of texture on it. The difference between this one and again another glass mouse pad with that texture is that control. Now, as far as the performance of this mouse pad, again, I've said it probably 20 times already, but I'm gonna say it again. The control of this pad is absolutely amazing. Again, I don't play competitive FPS, but talking about Helldivers where I want my accuracy to be on point, there's so much going on, so you want to make sure you're getting your shots with your limited ammo reserves there. But if you're playing competitive FPS, you want that tracking, you want to be able to hold those shots and really direct target to target. And that's what you got right here. Again, this felt like a control soft pad, a basic cloth one. The control of this is just phenomenal. And if you wanted a durable, long-lasting glass mouse pad with control, this is the only one I felt out there like this. The ceramic glass mouse pad from TJ Exclusive ranges in the price range, and again, as far as your logo, that'll cost a little bit more, but I believe this one here is roughly right around $115. So again, you're seeing glass mouse pads are always around 100, 120 bucks for this kind of mid-range or medium type of size here, which is that perfect size. And again, I stated it over and over, and I'll say it one last time before we move on here. If you want a control glass mouse pad, this is the one to go with. Plus, you're supporting a dude and his entrepreneurship and his passion here. It's a win-win. So I hope throughout this video, you were able to catch my passion and excitement for these three mouse pads, which again, rarely happens with mouse pads. These three just really sparked the interest. I said, okay, I want to share this with you all. And I hope this was able to help you guys. And if you used any of these out there, let me know down in the comments, or if you plan on picking one of these up, let me know which one you use. I'm really excited to hear your feedback again with how nerdy and excited and passionate I got with these. Again, I wanted to share that with you guys and want to hear your feedback as well if you scoop one of these up. Again, I hope this video was able to help you out, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.